Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Pinball Arcade. So last time we did, oh, I've already forgotten the name of it. What was this called? Victory? It is kind of the opposite of Victory. That was a pretty awful table. So now I want to play a different table. We're up to 1988 now with Bonsai Run, which seems to also be kind of racing themed, although it seems like this time it is motocross. This table also seems to have sound effects and speech, and I think it might have some crazy backboard action happening here too, which it'll be interesting to see how the camera adjusts for that. Bonsai Run is a unique classic table made by Williams. This was the first table designed by the legendary Pat Lawlor, with the art of Mark Springer. Uh, yeah, Springer. Originally destined to be made as Wrecking Ball, this table features a second playfield built into the back box, the Bonsai Hill Run. Run the race and pass the other riders to start multiball and become the king of the hill. Shoot the ramp to score big by crossing the finish line. Now, for the first time, there's a whole new direction for pinball up. Only 1,751 units were ever produced, and you can probably guess why. Uh, Having effectively a second pinball table, which we should just look at that first and foremost here, creates a lot of work. Plus, that means that the back glass has to be at least slightly slanted so that you could actually reach up there. It also feels like whatever pinball would potentially be launched here couldn't really be regular pinball. That seems crazy. You would need something much lighter. Uh, Man, that it almost seems like there actually wouldn't be a pinball that would go up there at all, and this would just be a joke. But look at how much of this art is also covered up with painted glass too. And that really feels like tight shots. It's basically two tables in one. We have, I believe, a kickback. We maybe have a ball saver feature. See, we have lane change. We have several goals with bright square lights, and then a speedometer and a revolutions per minute meter. What are those called? I forgot what they're called. Um, then multipliers. There's a standing target there, and then that right lane that seems to kind of go just all the way around and back down in this area, which that's an interesting idea. I'm not sure we've seen this before, where you can shoot up a lane and do one thing and come down the lane and do something else. It seems to me like there's a captive ball right next to it, but it seems to me like there should have been a captive ball right here to spin to this and to that sinker. It kind of feels like that kick flipper might shoot the ball all the way up there. That seems crazy, but it kind of seems like that would be. And then if it drains out this way, it must then hit back this way. You have 3 red, 3 blue standing targets, 3 yellow. So a decent amount of targets to hit. A spinner to a ramp that goes to a top lane. Where's the jump, I wonder? Because it's odd that there's a split there where there's like one way versus another way for the ball to drain back down that way. And then you have maybe a connecting path to that sinker, maybe not. And then 3 triangle shaped jackpots that pop-up bumpers, so aren't going to do much, and then another sinker target. There's quite a lot here. There's also red, yellow, and green and blue on this upper table, which red, yellow, blue. Where's the greens? Like maybe these are the top-down ones or the greens. So it probably is that everything up here is just being duplicated. I have no idea how you would actually get a bonsai, get it all the way to the top there. Man, that is crazy, crazy looking table. Good thing we have ball control, because we may have to use it terribly for such a crazy table. And here's an interesting flyer. We have not seen this before, where one side shows you one half of the table and one side shows you the other half of the table. Pinball machine with one continuous play field on two different planes. See, and it would be fairly crazy if actually this was a prism and the back play field was actually still at the same angle. That might have worked, but then that would have taken up a lot of time. Like, if this table was actually as flat as this table was, and it just went further back, and then there was a piece of glass that was just reflecting it to make it look like it was upward, that would be crazy. Also, it would mean the table would not really feel like it was reacting to gravity quite right, which would be an interesting feeling to introduce. Once again, I've accidentally chosen a different skin. It's so incredibly easy to do that.
He's going after Yellow Belly.
Alright. So, normally I have follow the ball turned off. I just hit the button to turn it on. Because in this case, I think following the ball is probably going to make a lot of sense. At least I think I hit it to turn it on. For this table in particular, they probably shouldn't allow you to turn it off in some scenarios. Yeah, it's a magnet, and then the camera did move. Okay. Interesting. So the magnet is going to be, I think, the thing that serves as your assistance for going against gravity. I think this is probably the first table we've seen that also specifically has a magnet in it.
Put a move on Bluebeard. Put a move on Green Machine. He's moved into third place.
So I think I just did the best thing you can do. Although I don't feel like I got significantly rewarded by that. And I guess the red drop targets are the red racer that you're trying to beat. And so you are kind of constantly trying to hit as many colors as possible.
He's moved into second place.
I'm still trying to get a handle on this table But clearly, the one shot to get to the backboard is a super important shot. And so you're going to want to do that. Got a free game. And sometimes these match games, you can stop prematurely.
Welcome, race fans, to Bonsai Run.
So that wasn't a bad warm-up game. I guess the question is there a skill shot with the plunger? Do I have to do something first before I can end up lighting the magnet in that far shot? Clearly the left lane shot is a very important shot. And so you want to get particularly good at it. This is a table I think that highlights the fact that a trapped ball often is better than a standing target, because the trapped ball will absorb some of the hit and bounce the ball a little bit different directions. What? There we go.
He's going after Bluebeard.
I'm accomplishing goals, but I'm not really sure what I'm accomplishing. Seems like we once again have a table without a multiball. So it's not quite industry standard yet, even by 77 and 87 and 88. Whereas nowadays, I think you would be laughed out of a room without having some sort of multi-ball, even if you're just going to do a simplistic two-ball multi-ball. And there's no ball saver feature. The pop-up bumpers don't seem like they actually hit the ball quite in the right place to bounce it back to the top lanes. So they're not particularly helpful. They're just kind of in the way, or they're oddly not in the way. They're easily missed. I've got to be careful with that top right flipper. We've got the yellow ugly flippers from Williams. They really kept that standard. That's something I would probably want to change on the Williams table, is just straight up replace the flippers with white flippers. That yellow is just so hideous, and I imagine nowadays it would have been even more yellowed, as most plastics of that time, if they had a flame retardant chemical that was very common to put in plastics of that era, would tend to yellow terribly badly.
He's challenged Yellow Belly.
Let's see. I don't think I can hit the ramp with the left trigger, so it would have been maybe better to make smaller slingshots. Wow, that took forever. Magnet's not grabbing it. Wow, that took like 3 tries for it to actually grab it. Is that because the game was loading? I would hope that that wasn't the case if the game was taking extra time to load the back part, because that clearly should have been loaded.
He's challenged Green Machine.
How do you increase the multiplier on this? And does the rev meter and the speedometer really do anything? Are they actually going up, or are they just permanent little pictures on the field that don't ever change? They don't even seem like they're really lit.
He's going after Red Hot. Go for the hill.
I relit the kickback, not really knowing how I did that. I feel like at this point I have done all the standard goals very, very easily, without actually doing a decent run of the game, which kind of does highlight how you can seemingly accomplish these standard goals, or a lot of them, without even knowing. Skill shot. When the new ball is plunged, super skill shot is super cycle stunt is lit. Complete the Bonsai Hill saucer to score a cycle stunt with 100,000 points, plus 100,000 points. Scoring the cycle stunt also lights the green machine target there. If the green machine is already elite, scoring the cycle stunt also lights the yellow belly switch, or the blue switch, or the red switch for red hot. There's quite a lot of characters here. My question is, how do you do the freestyle course? That seems to be a separate trapped pinball at the top there that seems to just get shot. Maybe that's what green machine starts. Red hot is already lit. Scoring a cycle stunt lights all 8 freestyle targets here. Super cycle stunt is unlit once it's scored or any other playfield switch is hit. The main goal of Bonsai Run is to win the Bonsai Hill race. When the race is started, the players begin. Increase your rank, defeat the lit people, race by completing the associated targets. So the rollovers are the green ones. So that's defeat red hot. Once all 4 races have been lit on Bonsai Hill, the targets are reset and can be completed again. Completing the target bank while the associated racer is lit lights the 2 freestyle targets of the same color. Once the racer is lit, Bonsai Hill is lit. Shoot the Bonsai Hill saucer. I guess that's what they're calling it. It's like a flying saucer that lifts the ball up. Send the ball up to Bonsai Hill. When the ball enters Bonsai Hill, the post here is raised for 15 seconds. So there is a ball saver in that mode. Shoot the lane here to send the ball to the upper kicker, which kicks the ball up to the playfield. Shoot the left to defeat yellow belly. Shoot that to defeat green machine, blue machine, and red hot. Once all 4 races have been defeated, the player in second place. A lock is lit to start multiball. So there is a multiball. Read the multiball for more challenges. Alright, How do you start a freestyle? A freestyle course can be a quick way to pass rival races, to light freestyle targets, complete the race. Green machine rollovers, yellow belly targets, red, blue, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Defeat them, defeat them. All 8 freestyle targets can also be lit by completing the cycle stunt skill shot, with all 4 back box targets are lit. When any freestyle target is lit, freestyle is lit here. So you hit that sinker, or that one. A ball is launched here into the freestyle course. If the yellow target here or here is hit, they defeat it. Interesting. So basically, it feels like the freestyle, if you can start it, will potentially win the whole game for you. And complete an entire race. The freestyle run ends when the ball returns here. I think it's supposed to be pointing lower than that. And the game continues. Alright.
Welcome, race fans, to Bonsai Run.
So that was too weak. Full power is too much for the skill shot. But I need to get good at the skill shot.
He's challenged red hot.
I really don't feel like there's a good angle here for this camera. This definitely feels like a table where you're gonna have to put a lot of effort into it. Like you're really gonna have to try hard to make sure you're getting the right shots and practicing the right shots.
He's challenged yellow belly.
It's weird to have a sinker target inside the left slingshot. That seems unnecessary. This almost feels like this would have been a wide body table, or at least they were thinking about doing that. Although take note that we have not seen a single wide body table since the first couple that we were introduced. No, we've seen 3. And not liked any of them. So that, as a concept, I think was pretty much quickly abandoned for the most part.
Welcome, race fans, to Bonsai Run.
See, so I'm not sure what lights the freestyle though. Getting one of the color racers started lights the saucer. But I don't think you have the opportunity to I don't think you have the opportunity to defeat a racer without getting to the higher area. Man, the saucer is terrible. It just, like, misses the ball several times. this table has that extra room on the left side. This is another one of these tables that has a decent amount of empty space in the center of the table also, where it would have been nicer to see some other things. Once again, a jump just up the exact middle, which would have worked really well with the theme of a motocross. Alright, there's the skill shot. Am I supposed to be grabbing it? Like, Flipper doesn't seem to be doing anything. Plunger's not doing anything. Yeah, hitting the sinkhole, hitting the captured ball are both things that I just don't really see why they would exist. Like, I don't get what they're there for. Feels like you could have maybe had some pop-up bumpers that were taking up a little bit more space instead, to take up some of the space and move everything on the left inward just a little bit, an inch or so. I don't know how hard I hit the ball last time to get the skill shot, so I wasn't paying enough attention to replicate it. Which that sucks, because I probably made as much progress so far as I have in any other game. I feel like I defeated green, but it didn't light that bottom green light, so I don't know what that's supposed to indicate. Maybe you're supposed to race green twice.
He's challenged Yellow Belly. He's going after Red Hot. Go for the hill.
So we've got everything lit except for the freestyle. Trying to get those shots.
Freestyle, Yellow Belly. He's moved into fourth place.
So the freestyle did help me get Yellow Belly, but then it immediately ended.
Freestyle, Red Hot.
Alright, now we got Red Hot, which means if I could have just locked the ball, I would have had Multiball there, or the start of Multiball. We still have a chance. Some of the lights look more roundish than diffused like they should. So is that winning the race? Probably. Maybe. Or was there something more you had to do? Yeah, that felt like more of a random. For cycle stunt number 4, defeat Red Hot, cross the finish line, earn the outlane special, and become king of the hill. Those all sound like fairly complicated things to pull off. But maybe.
He's challenged Red Hot. He's going after Yellow Belly.
Seriously, am I supposed to be pulling the right trigger? No. Is it supposed to just be going back and forth multiple times? There's defeating Red Hot. There I relit the kickback. I tried to nudge there and it didn't work. I feel like the nudging in this game particularly might actually cause the ball to just lose any angular momentum.
He's going after Bluebeard.
It may hurt more than it actually helps.
He's challenged Green Machine. Go for the hill.
Well, at least I'm getting a little bit faster on the nudging, even though I'm still pretty much completely missing the angle. I don't know what pinball table designers' infatuation with cross-shot targets are. You see a lot of them. A third flipper shooting at standing targets that are nearly parallel to the table, something you would not really be able to hit.
Welcome, race fans, to Bonsai
If
Run.
anything, I would assume it comes from a desire to make the tables more difficult for the hardcore fans who I imagine would be the people writing complaint letters to pinball table designers, if anybody was writing complaint letters. A little kid's not going to really get in contact if they have a bad time with a table,
He's challenged Yellow Belly.
and nobody's really going to complain if a table's too easy. They're just going to be the silent majority of people that walk away from a table if it's too easy. Well, we really haven't seen too many tables that are too easy. The ones that I've even said are too easy are also the ones that I've played a lot of before, so I may just have that muscle memory. This is crazy because I don't have anything started. I guess yellow started. I didn't think yellow had started. I guess maybe it just starts yellow for you by default. I guess there is a spinner shot I should probably get better at. On the left. Well, the lane's on the right. It would be a left flipper shot. Yeah, I should get much better at that. Right lane second from the right.
He's challenged Green Machine.
The music in this table is pretty good, although somewhat repetitive. The sound effects sound modern and are not robotic for the time.
Welcome, race
So,
fans, to Bonsai Run.
I basically have nothing to say around the music and the sound effects because it all sounds fine. Of course, like mini tables, it would be nice if you didn't have the opportunity to drain out in the first 5 seconds. And I can't really complain about this table being focused around basically one gimmick when the one gimmick is such a giant gimmick of having a second table effectively on the back glass. This takes the concept of an upper playfield table and fixes some of the problems with an upper playfield table or lower playfield table. If anything, it's probably a little bit closer to a lower playfield table equivalent because it plays slightly different like a lower playfield table does, whereas an upper playfield is just a raised platform.
He's challenged Green Machine. He's going after Red Hot.
I really do have to applaud the idea that in a single pinball table you might be able to introduce 4 characters and make the player actually care about those characters more than a slightly trivial amount.
He's moved into 5th place.
The way this works is you basically, nobody is in a set spot.
What a move on Green
So
Machine.
we kind of know you have to hit all the targets.
He's moved into 4th place.
Come on. No freestyle. And still struggling to start the blue one. It doesn't feel like there's a real score multiplier on this table, but you might get something of a score multiplier with the number of laps.
Welcome, race fans, to Bonsai
So
Run.
it might benefit you a lot more than you would think to get really good at doing the laps. Well, that sucked. Yeah, I'm running into a lot of tables, a lot of rounds that kind of suck. But it does have that ability to make me want to keep on playing. Like, I just can't put down the game. I've been playing for 40 minutes and yeah, I like it. And this definitely feels like if I played this enough, it would just be a matter of time before I got all the wizard goals eventually.
He's going after Bluebeard.
Well, I want to do a little bit of Table exploration. It says prior race. Interesting. So I don't know what the prior race light is used for. It very possibly is only used for a 2-player mode. This art here with the speedometer and revometer, I think that's not what it's called. I want to say tachyometer, but that might be wrong too. Doesn't seem to do anything. The hitting of this standing target has been very difficult. You move up the rank to rank 2, I suppose. Oh, the music just cut off very abruptly. This is the lane I would want to hit a lot. 1988 Bonsai Run. So this loop and doing laps around this would be fine too. So if you got really, really good at shooting up this lane and then having the ball eject somewhere here, and that's a fairly wide decision where it could go, and having it say hit and get trapped on this flipper, that'd be fine. There's no crisscross though. There's not like a ramp that would then shoot around and feed into the end lane of the left side. Yeah, and that hidden catcher is weird. Very weird. I at this point think I kind of hate when they put extra art that covers up part of the play field too. It seems unnecessary and just extra for no reason. Let's see. Is there anything else to really look at? No. Let's see what operator mode does. We can figure this out. Enter is music test. Music off. Okay, up and down does nothing. Start does.
Welcome, race fans, to Bonsai Run.
Yeah. Still a lot of stuff here where you would really need a manual. A lot of this is straight up just telling you the number of times a game has been played. And the number of times things have happened. Which I just hit the reset button, so that very well reset all of that stuff anyways. So what would be really interesting to find out is, did that reset button change the high scores? No. So those are different and unconnected to everything else.
Welcome, race fans, to Bonsai Run.
Right. So skill shot there. And that's cycle stunt 1. Now, do you have ball control in any way when the ball is up like that? The answer is no. Hitting that does basically nothing.
He's going after Red Hot and Bluebeard.
Wow. Interesting it has an and. So you still have to basically play, even if you have ball control. Because while you might be able to hit the standing targets on the main field And you might be able to direct the ball back up to the upper field.
What a move on Bluebeard. He's pulled into fourth place.
Hitting that didn't seem to do much.
He's challenged Yellow Belly. Go for the hill.
You can see the game itself is telling you get up to the hill. It's basically nothing you can do otherwise.
What a move on Yellow Belly.
Darn it. Still trying
Into third place.
to take out Red Hot. Hitting the captured ball seems to be fairly impossible to do. And with ball control, I don't know if I can actually get up this center lane shot without hitting the...
He's moved into second place. Go for the hill.
Even then, when I had ball control, the ball was still slowly moving downward. So at this point, I should be ready for the ball lock. Come on. I'm gonna lose. Come on, ball control. This is kind of a great example of where having a magnet in the real world would be very practical. I don't know what those drop down targets are that I'm hitting on the hill. There's basically nothing blinking on the table at this point. Come on, this hasn't been that hard. It's like the game itself knows I'm cheating and is trying to stop me. There we go.
He's challenged the king.
And that would be cycle stunt 2. Alright. See if we can figure out where we're supposed to go.
Go for the hill.
Well, that feels like I have only a certain amount of time to go for the hill. And I can't get the ball to decide to want to go there.
He's going after the king.
Right, that's the wrong shot, though.
Go for the hill. Go for instant rematch.
Instant rematch. And then that should be stunt 3. Wow, this would be a lot. And there's like a ball stuck, I think, locked in the hill.
Go for the hill.
Come on. almost there. Man, it's a lot of work.
He's going after the king.
So we're going for rank 1, which
Go for the hill.
just everything flashing here.
He's going after the king.
This feels like more work than you would really be able to put into an actual game. Like, I don't think I could actually pull off what this is asking for. This is just a high requirement. And I keep missing that shot. Come on. I honestly have to ask, why did they even bother to introduce ball control as a concept? Like, if it was going to be this incredibly slow? Is this really how QA testers are able to cheat shots? This is a table, if I owned it, I would take the glass off and I would cheat so much. And that pretty much means I would lose any respect for myself or for the table. This is asking for like top level precision shooting.
He's going after the king.
And this is to start multiball. Like, this isn't something you could do in multiball. This is... I think I'm gonna have to give up. Like, even cheating, I don't think I can pull this off.
Go for the hill. He's going after the king.
The ball just flipped over the flipper, which I guess that might be a problem you run into with pinballs.
Go for the hill.
That are
He's
vertical.
going after the king.
There we go.
Victory lap.
So I got a victory lap, and
He's challenged Bluebeard.
with the victory lap,
He's going after Red Hot.
then that's the point where you reset the races. Interesting. And I am not doing well on that single target.
He's going after Yellow Belly.
Alright, let's see if we can get the green rollovers.
He's challenged Green Machine. Go for the hill.
There we go. So again, So I got everybody except Yellow Belly. Which I think that means I pretty much just have to come back up here. Because I don't think you can lock Yellow Belly any other way. That may have been a ball lock for a multi-ball. I didn't even have to cheat to hit it that time. I forgot I was cheating. Ever cheat so long you forget you're cheating? And so you could roll back that way all you want, but that's not going to do you any good. You don't defeat him by hitting the yellow, do you? No. What I probably could do is a freestyle.
Freestyle.
Yeah. And see if the freestyle helped. I should just try for freestyles.
Freestyle.
Yeah, if I was doing anything to get a multiplier, I would have done it by now. I've hit everything on this table. And come on, ball. Oh man. These still just don't want to go where they should. Come on, hit that.
Freestyle. He's moved into second place.
Okay.
He's challenged the king.
There's stunt cycle 4. Come on, ball lock.
Go for the hill.
All we're doing at this point is kind of simulating the perfect game. Like what a perfect game might look like if the ball magically was being controlled.
Go for the hill. He's going after the king.
Go. Oh, I thought I had hit that.
Go
Darn
for
it.
the hill.
Where's the ball?
Go for instant rematch.
I may have drained the ball there. We have just a few seconds.
Instant rematch.
There's cycle stunt 5, which I don't know if there's much of a difference between cycle stunt 5 and cycle stunt 4.
Go for the hill. He's going after the king.
And we kind of don't have a good characterization of the king in particular. where you would kind of want more of a focus on the king as a character. Come on. Lock up there. Lock up there.
He's going after the king.
It's just so incredibly easy to mess it up. So incredibly easy to not get that shot.
Go for the hill.
And then you're just stuck doing the same thing over and over again.
After the king.
Like a great table with bad game flow. Like the elements are great. Excellent. Just perfect elements, really. And then terrible, terrible game flow. So incredibly focused on doing one thing and only one thing. Come on. It's like you have to give it a little bit of horizontal input on the D-pad. You can't just press up on the D-pad.
Going after the king.
I don't know what even lights the second target there. So now everything on the table is lit. I have no idea what else there is to even hit. Like, we've either just gonna have to do lane bonus after lane bonus after lane bonus, because there's just kind of nothing here. Unless it was hit the spinner with a lot of force. Yeah, you have literally one. Like, here's an out lane we can collect. And I guess I collected a special, and that was enough to reset the races. I did the victory lap. So we've basically done everything on this table, so let's just play normally. It's been like 30 minutes simulating 21 laps, whole bunch of score. Really, that only got me like 250,000 points too, where a lot of that seems to have just come straight from accomplishing the goals on the table directly. So this is not a big bonus table by any means. I guess it is interesting that the left flipper on this table does lane change also, or it says it does, but it really doesn't. Like, oh yeah, it is working on the left flipper. Every table we've seen up until this point, it's only been the right flipper that did a lane change for no good reason, really. Yeah, this is one of the things that Pinball Arcade can do to kind of ruin a table for you, that in the real world you probably wouldn't run into that problem. Being able to enable ball control and cheat and expose the incredible high difficulty of some of the challenges.
Challenge red hot.
That's something that if you were just playing a pinball table at an arcade for a few hours, you probably would never realize how crazy some of the later challenges are. And you probably wouldn't realize that there is not actually that much that you can do in the table. Generally speaking, you would realize there was probably only so much you personally could do depending on your skill level. But once you can control the ball and simulate everything the table can do, you realize, oh, actually there isn't that much variety to it. Which really leaves Bonsai Run as a mediocre table. Interesting gimmick, certainly. Maybe a little too much going on, generally speaking. So feels like the upper playfield concept and gimmick felt like it was competing with, not supplementing, the main table. And so yeah, would I ever really be able to do score cycle stunt 4? Probably not. Cross the finish line? Probably not. Get the outline special? Probably not. Become king of the hill. And frankly, doing all of these pretty much, well, these last three pretty much are all the same thing. That they're all in a row. That being said, would I think Bonsai Run is better than Victory? Honestly, I think both Bonsai Run and Victory are kind of in the same position, that they're mediocre tables that I just don't want to play. I think Bonsai Run probably is slightly better, only ever so slightly, as far as tables go. Man, I really cycled the skin on this pinball table in a far direction. And if I was going to play a table that was about speed and racing, I think I would be still much more interested in just playing high speed, which is a more simplistic table and an easier table, but it's also kind of more of a focused table too. There's just a little less going on with this table. Is there another kind of table even in contention, I wonder? Not really. I don't think Flight 2000 probably falls under that some same kind of concept. This is a little bit too old school a table to compare the two to. Alright, well, that was Bonsai Run. Next time we'll do Cyclone, and if it's the table I think it is. Nope, it's a different table. I was thinking of the table that had a fan on top of it and blew wind on you and was about tornadoes, which is probably Whirlwind. Yeah, that's the table I was thinking of. There's a fan on top of it. But Cyclone is a very famous table that I recognize. I definitely saw that in a real arcade and played that a lot. So while we may have had a run of 3 kind of mediocre tables, I think Cyclone will break that run. Pinbot is still great and totally worth playing. And then even if these next 2 after Cyclone are mediocre, then we have Taxi, which is probably good. And I think Elvira is probably pretty good, and I suspect some of these other tables of the 5 remaining tables in the 1980s era, at least 2 or 3 of those are going to be pretty good. Then we'll slowly make our way through the 90s. There's still plenty of tables, really. If anything, we've kind of not made even a halfway point at this level, because there's just so many 90s tables. Anyways, well, we went over an hour and 10 minutes, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wish list. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.